Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy DJ Fanatic Beats, content contributor for LiveOffBeats.com. Today, you got a dope video that I'm going to give you. A dope video that I present to you today. It's basically a beat breakdown of one of my most popular R&B beats, which actually turned out to be really dope. I put a lot of work into it. It just came out nice, man, with a lot of variation, some dope chords and nice sound selection choices, and I really like how it came out. Let me know what artists you hear on it. I hear several artists on it, but it just came out perfect. I was just really pleased with it, and this actually happens to be one of my most popular R&B beats I ever made. So I thought I'll give you a behind the scenes look of what I put together. So if you like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Sounds for Producers or Instagram at DJ Fanatic Beats, and Fanatic is spelled P-H-A-N-A-T-I-C. So let's jump into it. First, I started out with some really nice chords. Let's see. Obviously I used Expand. If you notice, this is an older version of FL Studio. I'm actually running this off of an external hard drive and just trying to see if the video will crash or not. So hopefully it'll stay on for y'all. So I started out with these chords. Let's bring that back. And with Expand, I actually layered up 2 different sounds. It's kind of cool what you can do with Expand. You can just layer up the 4 sounds, do some leveling, and you can do panning and effects, and you can do a lot other things, modulations, ARPs, or whatever. If you have Expand 2 or whatever, this is exactly what I did. I'm not hiding anything. These are 2 sounds that I used to add to that. I used basically acoustic piano, which is the prevalent sound, the loudest sound, and also like a bright pad behind it. So there's a lot of movement going on if you listen to it closely. And next I added let's see here, I think it was another piano melody, so I'll let you hear that by itself. So what I did was, that's like a main melody over top, and I use the same instrument. So being that it was a piano, I'm able to utilize the same sound, but it actually almost sounds like a different sound. So here it is together. And with that melody that I created, here it is. I think I played that or plugged it in. Either way, if I plugged it in, you can highlight everything, Control A, and then just take the snap to grid to none, and then just use shift arrow left or right, depending. To go further in time, you shift arrow right to just nudge it just a little bit, so that way it gives it a natural sound. And you do want your beats and productions to have a natural humanistic feel to it. You don't want everything on the grid. So I think that's also like a little small thing, but in the beat alone, I think people naturally gravitated to it. So keep that in mind when you're working on melodies, especially the melody. You don't want the melody or like a bass line or just a part that really should sound human. These chords, actually, I could have nudged them over a little bit, but I made this beat actually a long time ago, and it's still up there in top plays and sales. So but yeah, so anyway, like melodies, it's good to kind of take it off the grid a little bit. So the next sound I used, I think this was like a let's see, what is this? That's the same thing. Here it is. Yep, Silent One. I actually did some sound design for this one. I created this sound, so I don't want to update right now, but and I don't want to do a whole sound design for this video. This particular sound took me a long time, and I actually do need to save it so that way I can use it on other stuff. But anyway, check it out. So with that sound, I think I did a different chord structure. Those chords are actually exactly the same as, I think they are. Let's check. Yeah, it looks like they're the same. And they're pretty advanced chords. They're ninth chords. So that gives it that big full sound. And I think that also spoke out in this beat. So here it is with that unique sound I created. It's like a wobble pad. Whoa. Now that sound, I think I created as well. And like I said, I put a lot of work into this beat. Yep, that was created as well. So I did 2 different sound designs in this beat, and just spending time on that alone made this beat very unique. Bars that rhymed. So I think that's also another thing that attributed to this beat still being popular, is by just the energy I put into it, and just even creating sounds within the project and using those unique sounds. I think spoke volumes in this beat. So I think I'll let you hear those sounds with the overlining melody. And notice these are the same chords, and it almost sounds like different chords because the sounds are so different. So that's something you can utilize in your beats. You can definitely use the same chords over and over, and add like little variations here or change one note or totally use a different sound, because it's connected. Like, it connects to the other melody or the other chord progressions, but then it feels like it's changing because the sound changed, but the notes didn't change. So that's a little trick you can use in your productions that, a lot of producers don't share. And some do. So, it's all good. You can use the same chords, but with different sounds, and get different results. So let's see. Let's jump in. Next is mostly percussion. I'm not sure what this is down here, so let's find out what that is. Okay, that's the bass. So moving along here, I believe this was some brass with the same chords again. I use like a swell brass, which is awesome. Oh. My bad, I meant to play it by itself. Check it out. And it's not the brass, it's actually another sound that I created within Silent One. You can go ham with Silent One. It's a good plugin for sound design, especially if you want to get your feet wet with how to create with waves, and then using different oscillators and filters, different LFOs, different envelopes, and you just kind of create different things. There's other plugins out there that you can explore with, but this is like one of the first plugins I learned how to sound design, and this is probably at least a top 5 beats that I'm really pleased with some of the sounds I made, and I need to save these actually. So next, so that's 3 different unique sounds in this beat. Obviously that spoke, of course with the chords as well, but that spoke to an audience. So lastly, not lastly, but here's the brass. These are different chords, and I use like a swell brass. I'll show you which one I use in a moment. And I took a lot of time, put a lot of time into these chords and what notes I wanted to use. I use session horns for that. Notice it sounds super dope. Here you can choose different sustain. What did I use? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Anyway, I use that faux pie cray. Anyway, I used that to give it a swell. It sounds like it bends and then it goes up. And I used this full section. I got the whoops. Hopefully I won't change anything. I got the trumpet, and actually it looks blurred out, so I don't know if it's being used. Actually, I think it is. And the sax, trombone, and another trumpet. So anyway, with those instruments and with that type of playing style or articulation, it comes out to this, and with these notes. And I just bring in the bass here. For the bass, I'm not sure what I chose. I used an 808, I think. Yeah, I chose a random 808. And in the 808, go to your wrench tool, and I shifted it so it's a little off the grid. And I use slide notes. And I showed this in another video, but notice this 808. Watch what it does. It slides down from G to G, and basically it starts to slide at this point and it ends at this point. So to create a slide note, a quick way would be just to double click on any note and select this little icon right here. Notice in the upper left it says slide, but we're not going to create one there. So if you have one note and you want to slide it to another, you just put the little slide thing there and actually have it going sliding up and then back down. So I'll play this whole phrase. So the bass line isn't too tricky, it isn't too complicated, it's straightforward. And if you notice, it actually repeats, but it was just perfect for this beat. So that's all the elements actually. What is this here? Other than the percussion, I'm gonna play that in a second. Let's find out what this is way over here. Pattern 12 is, wow. See, some of these elements I can use like in another beat too, and just totally flip it, or just take the MIDI and do some crazy stuff with it. But anyway, that is I use Sample Tank for that, and I use electric piano. It's a stage piano. So I kind of just added that element in the middle of the beat, and if you notice, it only happens at the end. So it's like a little hidden gem inside the whole beat. So I'm gonna play some of the beat so you vibe out and you kind of get a feel for the percussion elements I chose. I can go over that right quick. So start out with a simple hi-hat. And the rhythm actually changes from pattern 8 to pattern 7. So notice there's like some triplets in there, and you know, pretty straightforward, but you know, it's actually making its own pattern, rhythmic pattern. So I did some unique stuff there too. Hi-hats are, you know, it varies because R&B does different things with hi-hats, but you can always just do research and listen to other songs. I think this is a kick and a snare. And there, that little triplet right there on the kick. Ba-da-dum. So with this pattern, I kind of just vibed out and try to feel my way through. I didn't like overthink it. I trusted my musical ear, and sometimes you got to do that with music. You can't just, you know, let the system or let the computer software or whatever build your beat. You got to trust what's inside, you know, your musical expertise. So let me just play that with the bass line. Nice. So here's all the beat, all the elements, intro into the verse, so you kind of get an idea of what I did to it. And this was just like a symbol, so you'll hear that as well. So check it out. breakdown right there. Wow. So, yeah, as I was listening to it, that wasn't like a big cymbal, it's like a small cymbal crash just in the background. And also I noticed there wasn't much processing. All this processing was just in the sound design. So that's another thing to consider when you're sound designing, making your own stuff. That way you don't need that much plugins. You're already doing all the work inside the actual VST. But I did notice I used Pan Man on the piano. And just set it to whatever, I don't know, just mess around with the parameters. I actually had a preset and probably changed a little bit of parameters. But it's a cool little tool that you can use to pan instruments slowly or whatever speed you want, and you mess around with the groove and the smoothing and all that. But yeah, it has dope little plugins and stuff. I mean presets that you can use within the plugin. But I rarely do that, and I might want to do that some more. If you don't have Pan Man or the whole suite of sound toys, you can use a substitute as Panomatic. It comes with FL Studio. Oh, my bad. You just go here. Where is it? There we go. Fruity Panomatic. And then you just hit pan and the amount that you want, the speed. You can choose the LFO shape. I usually use the sine wave. So there you go. That's all that you can use for panning or whatever. There's other options out there, of course. So let's go back. And if you notice, mixing wise, I didn't do much. There's just panning here and there, not much stereo separation. Mastering, I think I mastered this outside the project. Sometimes you got to do that. I think I did this on my old laptop where I couldn't even put mastering stuff onto the project. So I basically sent a WAV file to a mastering program. So that was a workaround, and you can use that too if you don't have a powerful laptop. But I upgraded since then, and I'm able to do pretty much whatever I want, thankfully. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I didn't talk too much, but I just wanted to break down every part in this beat and the reasons why I think this beat stood out so much. It has a great melody. The sound selections are dope. The way the piano complements, the other elements. There's like, the E piano and the brass, and just the simplicity of the rhythmic section. And I don't know, it's a smooth beat, and it came out pretty dope. So one of my favorites, and always will be. So being that I liked it and a lot of people like it, it makes me happy. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, if you like to follow me, you can follow me at Sounds for Producers on Instagram, or DJ Fanatic Beats on Instagram, and Fanatics PHANATIC. So again, it's your boy DJ Fanatic Beats, content contributor for LiveOffBeats.com. And feel free to take some of these ideas and run with them. You run with sound design, just mess up, initiate the plugin, go in there and explore, man. There's so many different avenues that you can run into when you're designing your own stuff, and it pays off when you put time into things. So anyway, I talk too much. Catch you next time. Peace.